Hey y'all, Jessica Kaylin coming at you with a Twin Flame Community Collective check-in. If you would like to support the channel in any way, please like, share, subscribe, and join me on Facebook and Instagram for daily card pulls and a glimpse into my perspective of the world. And you can join me on Patreon for monthly exchanges of Reiki services and payment, so that's absolutely lovely. Thank you so much for joining me on there if you have. And you can also get a personal reading or schedule a healing Reiki session with me. All of that information will be down below. Okay? Support the channel. You also support the writing. The book is coming along nicely. What we have here, I already pulled the spreads. As soon as I pulled the deck, I just did it. I didn't even really think about it. So I'm using the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue, and I'm using the Nature Whisperers by Angela Hartfield and Josephine Wall. I chose 3 cards from each deck, and what I really wanted to do with this message is to give those who know or intuit, feel as if they might be in a twin flame relationship, confirmation that indeed you are, because we all have one. So if you decide on that kind of love for yourself, just know it's not an easy road. And if you are destined for a twin flame relationship, instead of like choosing it, welcome. The Struggling Starseeds is kind of like a name I'm coming up with, because the coming generation, lots of gifted people out there who just don't feel understood. I'm here for you, babies. All right, so for the Twin Flame Collective Consciousness, Unity Conscious... Oh, interesting. Okay, so the Fairy is going to lean toward the Divine Feminine side, and the Nature's Whispers is going to lean more toward the Divine Masculine side. What is the difference, Jessie? Well, Divine Masculine and a Divine Feminine. Keep in mind, yes, there are the two equal and opposite forces, God and Goddess energy. There is the masculine energy that goes directly from one to the other, and then there's the divine feminine that operates in a figure 8 loop. You need both, all right? As a human being, you can encompass it, you can embody however the energy you feel. That, I feel, is more like gender. That's a channeling of energy. That's like how you want to project and how you want to encapsulate, how you want to vibe. Gender, or even just... You can be an effeminate man, you can be a masculine woman, you know, it's all about attitude and presentation, and you know what I'm saying? So, like, whatever resonates with you resonates. But do try to keep in mind about how do you operate? Are you a loop-de-loop? Are you a dreamer? Are you a creator? There's a definitely feminine side of the scale, right? Or are you logical? Are you mathematical? Not terribly mathematical, but pragmatic and practical and very 3D oriented, but not in a negative way, in a way that the dreamers need. It's just opposite and equal. So that's the main difference between divine feminine and divine masculine. Okay? Okay. So when the cards are used in our favor, in our favor to deliver a message, and that's what I say. That's, you know, there's always a gradient in between, but this is a general reading. So if you have a twin flame question and you want a personal reading about it, or you have questions, you know, feel free to email me and we'll talk. So take the time to review details carefully. Justice, along with assurance. Okay. Right now, especially if you're watching this video, you're probably in separation, or even if you're in union, there is this feeling of taking care of business, all right? Assurance that, you know, you love the other person loves you. Assurance that this bond is real and cannot be destroyed. Justice, fight for fair and objective decisions. All right, take time to review the details carefully. You are assured as you do some more soul work. You will win in the end. And talk about what a beautiful way to start the twin flame card. The Justice, which is usually the scale, as we were just talking about. And here we have the two twins looking at this double-edged sword of life. Freaking beautiful. With the number 8 on it. Oh my god, it is with the feminine. Okay, so the divine feminine is doing her thing. You know, it's putting your nose to the grindstone, understanding the karma, I really do feel that as a collective, the divine feminines are generally the chasers and the divine masculines are generally the runners. That is because of the natural imbalance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy. The divine feminine knows that her time will come because Gaia awakes, and we are making things happen in levels that need to happen before we fuel ourselves enough, and we just burn bright, and we give ourselves what we need, and then the divine masculine wants to input that they are on the path toward the same effort you have put into. They may not be experiencing it, and they process shit differently. They just do. It may seem more surface. Their concern is on the surface. Their concern is the 3D. Underneath, a lot of it is subconscious. They're seeing triggers that are causing downloads. The Matrix is very real. And there are codes put everywhere, and numbers and synchronicities. And so be assured, those in separation or the divine femmes who find themselves doing more research on twin flame relationships and being more open to it and wondering about it and believing in it. Women's bodies, women with an X, by the way, because the bodies are just naturally more attuned to magic, at least on a raw, natural, puberty scale, like when the change happens, when the hormones go, it's like boys and girls no real difference when they're freaking kids, but then the differences appear. So it's just like, naturally speaking, in that surgence, in that growth underneath the form that attracts a certain energy, or the energy that attracted a certain form, and you generally identify with that, it's just women are more protruding and cycle life. Like, that's a very, very, very magical thing. And the divine masculine as a whole collective wants you to know that the human male ego is working on toward accepting and embracing and supporting in the way that they are meant to the divine feminine, that is Mother Nature, the true provider, and those who embody her and empower her and or just channel her. Okay, so the divine masculine is saying, I'm on the way to union in a lot of cases. All right, assurance that they are doing the work. I feel like the divine masculine in a mental space on a collective level actually doesn't want union. Their ego is not there right now. Their attention is elsewhere, but they are assuring that they are doing the work. They're a little annoyed. The divine masculine side of it is annoyed because on a collective consciousness scale, the male ego is cracking, and those in the system are cracking along with it, and they're hurting, okay? And they will get to be who they are, who they truly are, in a while. And review the details carefully, okay? So there's a pattern here. Okay. The divine feminines would like to be reminded that when you put your co-creative power towards something that you don't yearn for and that you can actually co-create, you learn about yourself, you level up, you receive downloads, you make an effect on this world. And that's what you are to preoccupy your time. And there's that justice again, like, you'll win in the end. You will. You will. This is a twin flame relationship. It is in the stars. You have agreed. You just have to live your story first. Eight of Springs during this time, I just heard, during this time, for the divine femmes. Stress that comes from having too many things happen all at once. Successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. This is Eight of Wands. This is throwing energy into the future. Why? Because the divine masculine is doing the work. Okay? Clearing out the old. You don't want to be around to watch him air out his laundry. They need to play their music. They need to, like, sit with all their crap, unpack, like, clean up house, dust the closet, sweep up after. This is just, he's in the zone. The divine masculine is in the zone right now. Doing their own soul work, which they naturally are repelling their divine counterparts, just because they don't want to be seen as imperfect. And even though that may sound ridiculous, they have every right to wait until they're comfortable to come up, to speak. All right? So there's that assurance, y'all. There's that assurance. So, divine femmes, keep busy. Keep busy. Trust that it's going to happen. It's a twin flame relationship. There ain't no shame or blame in the game, baby. Occupy your time well. Make your wishes. Don't get hung up on the manifestation process for the future. You know, allow inspiration to come in waves. Don't, like, put too much of your manipulative power, your co-creative power of thought into this when it's already happening, right? Let the universe speak to you about it. You put your energy in. Did y'all see that little fuzzy? Y'all put your energy into stuff that's worth putting your energy into. Your passions, your hobbies that you can turn into a career, figuring yourself out, solving your problems, working that body, enjoying life, getting a puppy if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? All right, I hope so. I know you do. I know you do. Okay, and so I just heard near future for both. So if you're a divine masculine watching this, there's definitely some advice in it for you. And yeah, for sure, for sure. And I hope there are some divine masculines watching this. I know, Jerry, was it? The vet? Hi, Jerry, are you watching? I love you. Peter, if you're watching, I love you. Shout out to all the DMs out there who make their presence known. I love you. So 3 of summer for the divine femmes. News worth celebrating. Announcements such as weddings, graduations, or births. Friends you cherish. So don't, yeah, okay, you can take it as like, yes, this situation involves marriage. If that's announcements such as weddings, this deck was called for a reason, right? There is news worth celebrating here. The thing is that you have to celebrate the news of your twin flame relationship in that silent unity bond of the holy trinity of you, spirit, and your twin. You connect and communicate through spirit with your twin. You communicate with your twin through spirit. There is a middleman at this point in time, but that doesn't mean that the bond is not there and that you're not actually evolving with each other, no matter how your divine masculine may be reacting to life right now. Which means, in the near future, divine masculines, number 44, seek beauty. 44 is a major spirit number, all right? And this is saying that they're just to get your mood on a more positive equilibrium. Can you try thinking of 10 things that you like really love? Think of 10 things that you could spend a whole minute thinking about and taking pleasure in that thought. If you can do 10 minutes a day to like relive really good moments and just feel really good, or you can co-manifest and feel that way about what you want in the future. There's always something really good to be had through any experience, all right? Because I know divine masculines, this is rough. That's harsh. It's harsh stuff, but like, you're divine masculines, right? A man's got to do what a man's got to do. And whistle while you work, all right? That way your vibrations don't get as low as your circumstances. You feel? You feel? And divine femmes, don't worry about it. Live your life. Live your life. Make an impact. Feel assured. And the divine masculines, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Do you know what's beautiful about this? This kind of love that you feel for an invisible person, be it someone you met and are not in contact with or someone that you have not met yet. Don't be scared to feel that love You can pour that love into Gaia. When you love an invisible woman to the utmost degree in the purest form, like, that is why twin flames are being born in a huge burst, to experience this kind of love, to make love, to when unity happens, your energies literally become beacons of light in the 5D. You turn each other on, the magic gets turned on. Right? So, like, it may be scary. You may have to face dark shadows. You may have to confront yourself and be very introspective and battle those demons. But there's something worth fighting for. Reminds me of Mulan. What do we want? A girl worth fighting for. A person worth fighting for. Because your girl could be a guy. I call my twin flame Erica sometimes. His name is Eric. And he was not the nicest when I told him about the fact that I might be trans. And, so when he got confused, I started calling him Erica. And I love it, because actually one of the first things that attracted me to him was his divine feminine side. When I was like, do y'all remember my beginning followers? Do you remember how hot I was? Ooh, I was freaking smoking. Put on that makeup. I was like, woo. Not to brag. All right, there it is. Yeah. All's well, y'all. All's well. DMs doing their thing. DFs biding their time. Keeping that faith. All is well. All right. I will be back with another twin flame update periodically. I think this is a really good practice to do. There's a lot of twin flame people out there that just don't have a grasp and come to places like this. I love you so much for loving yourself, really and truly. Take care. Rock on. Love ya. Bye.